Hey everyone, and welcome back. If you are new here, then hello, my name is Zoe and this is my YouTube channel. Today's makeup tutorial has a little bit of a twist to it. I'm sure you've probably seen by the title. Today we're going to be doing the same makeup look, but I want to do half my face more drugstore affordable, the other half more high-end like luxury brands. I've wanted to do this look for ages because I want to see if I could create like the same look. Hopefully by the end you won't be able to tell a difference. I also want to say as well, I love both high-end and like drugstore products. I love both. I've got like a good mixture of both in my collection as well, so none of these like I like more than the other. I just want to see if I can create the same kind of look, if you get what I mean. So with brows, I have already done them and I have used two different products. So this side I've used the Louise Hot Shot Brow Balm, and this side I've used the Pears Soap. So these kick off today's video. That's decided what side is going to be which. So for eyeshadow base, I'm going to use the concealer that I'm going to be using later on. So we're going to be using two different concealers. This side I'm going to be using the Tarte Shape Tape. This side I'm going to be using NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop, and I'm going to use these for my eyeshadow primer. So this side is going to be the Shape Tape, and brushes wise, honestly I'm just going to have to use the same brushes and things today because I don't have all my brushes with me, so I can wipe them off in between because I've got my brush cleaner. Okay, then this side we are doing the NYX Can't Stop or Won't Stop. So I don't know whether I'm going to have everything looking exactly the same colours, because a lot of the products I have like similar shades but not like exact matching shades. So we're going to see how we get on with it, as long as we can get both sides looking as similar as possible. Okay, so today's goal is soft brown gold, like soft glam eye. So for my drugstore side, I am using my Old Faithful, the Nip and Fab Contour Palette. Honestly, I use this all the time. Sorry if it's getting boring on here, but I just absolutely love it. It's my favourite palette ever at the moment. And then for my high-end side, I am using the Tartelette in Bloom again. Oh, I absolutely love this palette because it's just got like just the perfect kind of colours in. All nice soft browns, a few shimmery ones as well. I'm going to start with Smarty Pants. So this palette is probably slightly more cool toned than my Nip and Fab one, but the main aim for like a soft glam eye is just a nice like smoky transition. Hopefully you won't be able to tell like too much difference. And then we're going to create like a spotlight eye really. So keeping it rounded and then darker on the inner and outer corners. And then we are going to put our gold right in the centre. I'm going to go in with this one as my transition shade out of the Nip and Fab palette. I really hope this doesn't get dead confusing. So I'm going to try and do each stage one at a time as well, so I don't get too mixed up with what I'm doing. And this is just a little bit more warmer than the other palette, but it doesn't matter. Now we're going to go on to a darker brown. So in this palette, on this side I'm going to use the shade here, which is Rebel. So inner and outer corners. This is more of a reddish brown as well, so I think I can match it up a little bit more when I do the other eye as well. And then we'll do a little bit to the other eye. So for that I'm going to use this darkest one on the outer corner. Again, just pressing it on, mainly the inner and outer corner, and then going into the crease with it. So for the gold in the centre, I'm going to use two different pigments. For this side, I'm going to use Peaches and Cream Gatsby, which is one of my all-time favourites. And then on this side, I'm going to use this one from Primark. It's very similar in the shade, but this one is slightly like bigger pieces, like a little bit more glittery than this one, but I think they're both going to look nice. Okay, so I'm using the same brush to apply them. I'm just putting some glitter glue down at the minute. So this side is going to be Gatsby, so I'm just using like one side of the brush for one and the other side of the brush for the other one, because I really don't have like that many brushes with me. So pressing this all over just to really pat it in. This has to be like one of my favourite pigments like ever. And then on this side we're going to use the Primark one, so just pressing it on, and they pretty much look identical when they're on. They're both so pretty. Okay, so time for mascara. Two mascaras. This side I'm going to use Too Faced Better Than Sex. This side I'm going to use Maybelline Great Lash. And I'm going to be putting lashes on, so I'm not too fussed about mascara. Just a couple of layers, just so mine marry in with the lashes when we apply them in a second. Okay, so lashes were quite difficult. I don't have a lot in at the moment, and I did struggle to find two which were similar, but I think I found two which are quite similar. So on this side I'm going to use the Doll Beauty lash in Esmerelda, which will look like that. And then on this side, these are slightly more thicker, but I'm hoping that they won't look as thick like when they're on. These are the Eyelaw and Jordan Woods lashes. What are they called? Do they say? I don't think they say. If I find out, oh, Tropic Like It's Hot, that's what they're called. So I'm going to do these off camera just because I feel like this video is going to be ages. Okay, so the lashes are on, and you know what? They actually look so similar like once they're on. So we're going to move on to skin before we finish the eyes. For foundation, I have picked two here. For this side, I'm going to use the NARS Radiant Longwear, and then for this side, I'm going to use my Primark foundation because I've not used this for ages, to be honest, and the colours do look quite similar in the bottles, and I'm struggling with like matching colours at the moment. But let's pop the NARS one on first, and then that one is the Primark one, and they do look very similar in shade, so I'm hoping that I don't end up looking too like mismatched. Hopefully we won't, so let's just start blending in. I'll blend in one side and then I'll turn my sponge over and blend in the other side. Well, I'm really happy with the eyes as well. I just wanted to show that like you can do the same look with two different types of products. You don't always have to have like the same products. And then I'm turning it around and doing this side. Like if you see a tutorial and you want to create that look but you don't have the exact same products, then it doesn't matter. Like if you've just got similar colours or like similar products, then you can definitely do your own versions and it will turn out looking pretty much the same. Okay, I'm happy with the coverage on this side. We just need to build up the coverage on this side a little bit. See, even though this Primark foundation is a lot cheaper than the NARS foundation, I've had to use a lot more product to get the same coverage as that side. Okay, so I'm happy with that coverage now. We're going to do concealer again. So this side is Tarte Shape Tape, this side is NYX. Usually I would just draw it straight on, but I feel like I'm going to get confused, so I'm just going to pop it straight on with my sponge. Conceal all these dark areas. It's mainly my under eyes that need the most coverage when it comes to the concealer. And I might have to do two layers because my under eyes are so dark. I think my eyes are quite red and then my under eyes are quite dark. I don't know what's going on at the moment. Maybe I just need some better sleep or something. So I'm really happy with the base now. I don't think you can tell much difference. We're going to move on to contour now. So for this side, I'm going to use my Kat Von D the Mod Con contour, and then for this side I'm going to use my LA Girl Pro Concealer. So I'm going to do one side first and then the other side, because this one especially dries down really quick. So we'll do the high end side first and then blend it out, and then we'll move on to the other side. When I was planning the video and getting all the products out, I've tried to get out like products which are quite similar, but you just never know what they're going to look like together. But base wise you can't tell a difference at all really. It's just eyes maybe slightly warmer on this side, but I don't really think that you would notice now, especially with the lashes on. I really hope that when I come to editing this video I don't come across like one stage where I've forgotten when I've used what, so we will see if we do. And I'm going to build this side up a little bit more, because the drugstore side, the one that I'm using there, is quite a pigmented one, and this one is a little bit more on the sheer side. And then I'll just run any excess just down the side of this nose. Okay, LA Girl Pro Concealer. This is the shade Beautiful Bronze, and I always put it on the back of my hand first because it can be really hard to blend out. And I am using the same brush, but I don't really think that it matters. So just in exactly the same areas. I'd say this one is probably a little bit harder to blend out than the Kat Von D one. It just sets really quick, so I never like put it straight on like from the tube, because sometimes it's like already dry by the time I come to blend it out. Okay, I'm happy with that. Let's move on to the next stage. The next round is setting powder round. So for this side, I'm going to use my Laura Mercier translucent powder. This is literally my favourite powder of all time. And then this side, we're going to use the RCMA, the no colour powder. Again, absolutely love. Just a little bit under eye first. And then I'll do my chin with this powder, and then my nose with the other one, and then that'll balance it out then. No colour powder. I love both of these powders, to be honest, but if I had to choose between the two, I would pick the Laura Mercier one. On clients as well, because I feel more oilier skin does suit the Laura Mercier. That's just what I found client wise, but when you look at both you can't really tell the difference. The finish is very, very similar. So next round is bronzer round. So for this side I'm going to use my Urban Decay Beach Bronzer. For this side I'm going to use my Makeup Revolution bronzer. And yes, I'm going to have to use the same brush. I really like the colour of this bronzer because it's not like super duper warm. Whereas the Makeup Revolution one, sometimes I find that can be a little bit warm for me, but this is a nice like all-rounder. Makeup Revolution. See, this one is a little bit more like warmer in tone. It's still a really nice bronzer. Again, this one can be a little bit hard to blend sometimes as well, so I just have to be like a little bit careful like where I put my brush first. So I always try and start like at the back and then blend it down. So blush was a really easy decision because I actually only own two different blushes, and one is more lower end and one is more high end. So for this side we're going to use Illamasqua's Lover, and then for this side we're going to use the Milani Baked Bronzer Luminoso, which is one of my all-time favourites, and I really love both of these, to be fair. So just a little smidge. I don't like too much blush anyway. I'm not like a big blush person. And then a little bit of this one. This one's slightly more sheer than the other one because it's more of like a glowy blush. I'm going to smoke out the under eye slightly. So for, open it, this side I'm going to use, I'm going to use that same one here at Rebel for my under eye on that side. And then for this side I'm going to use that darker one again, just a little bit underneath. I always like to put a little bit of something underneath because when my under eyes are quite dry like they are at the moment, they tend to crease quite a bit, and I do feel like just a little bit of shadow underneath does hide the I nearly did like both sides using the same one then. It does hide the under eye creases a little bit. Before we do lips, we'll do, I'm getting in such a mess on this blooming desk now. Right, mascara for bottom lashes. So this side was the Maybelline Great Lash. And then this side was the Too Faced. Okay, so final steps for lips. So I'm going to do half and half because I feel like the whole process we've done half and half. I know it's only a small area, but I still want to do like high-end and more drugstore. So for this side, I am using MAC Soul Lip Liner, and I'm using the Sugar Buns lipstick from Bite Beauty. So that is that side. And then for this side, I'm using the Toulouse Lip Liner from NYX, and I'm using the Sleek Matte Me Lip Cream in Birthday Suit. These two shades are literally so similar as well. And then this side is our lipstick. And then this side is our sleek one. And then when that dries down, I don't think you're going to be able to tell much difference, but it does need to dry off a little bit. Okay guys, so that completes our gold soft glam using drugstore this side and more high-end this side, and I don't really think that you can tell like that much difference at all. That lip, now it's dried down, looks pretty much exactly the same, but I just wanted to show that you don't always have to have the exact same products to create the same look. Like if you see something that you want to recreate, then you absolutely can, just using what you've got. And you don't always have to have high end, you don't always have to have drugstore. But yeah, I love how it turned out. Let me know if you want to see like more looks like created with half and half. Let me know which side you prefer. Let me know if you can tell the difference, and let me know which side you like best, if you do prefer one side more than the other. But I love both because I think they look pretty much the same, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. So let me know down in the comments if you want to see more videos like this. Please give it a big thumbs up if you did like it. Don't forget to subscribe as well, and I will see you next week in my next one. Bye!